Hello everyone, and welcome to my Soap Twist 24 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The dull light of the abandoned warehouse poured through shattered skylights, creating jagged shadows on the concrete floor. Luna Nozawa sat chained to a metal chair in the middle of the room, her wrists bruised from hours of fighting against the chains. Her dark hair draped in twisted threads across her face, yet despite her tiredness, her eyes were filled with defiance. She had been here for days or weeks. Time blurred as she waited for her captor's footsteps. The massive door creaked open. She did not flinch anymore. She'd learnt not to give him satisfaction. But this time, the silhouette that entered the light was different. Taller. Broader. The walk was familiar in a manner that made her gut churn before her brain could catch up. He paused 10 feet away, hands in the pockets of his long dark coat. The brim of his hat first concealed his face, but when he raised his head up, Luna's breath stuck in her throat like broken glass.
No.
It could not be. Surprised, Luna? The voice was low and quiet, tinged with what could have been remorse if she hadn't known better. Justin Barber. For decades, this man had been Bill Spencer's right hand. The guy who had formerly stood silently behind Dollar Bill like a shadow, unwavering in his loyalty. The man who had departed from Los Angeles months ago without a word was thought to have retired or moved on after Bill severed relations with him in a fit of wrath over some long-forgotten transgression. But here he was, alive, and holding her captive. Luna's lips parted, but no sound emerged at first. Her mind rushed through all of her interactions with Justin, no matter how brief or professional they were. He'd always been polite, distant, unreadable. She remembered him at Forrester Creations gatherings, standing off to the side with a drink of bourbon he never drank and looking around with those icy, calculating eyes.
Why?
The word eventually ripped out of her, raspy and shattered. Why are you doing this, Justin? He took a slow step forward, then another. The chains shook as she reflexively drew back. You weren't supposed to be part of this, he added gently. None of this was ever about you. Then let me go. I can't. You can, she said. You aren't crazy. You're not a psychopath. I've seen you with your son. With Bill. You are not this person. His jaw tightened. For the first time, something flared across his face. Perhaps agony. Or maybe you're angry. You do not know who I am, Luna. Not really. He reached into his coat and took out a small silver flash drive. I held it between two fingers, like a cigarette. This, he explained, has everything. Every bad transaction Bill Spencer has ever made. Every life he has ruined. Every lie he's told to keep his empire going. I've spent 25 years cleaning up his messes. I am covering for him, taking the blame when he needed a scapegoat.
Luna looked at the drive.
Is this revenge? This is justice. He moved closer. She was close enough to detect a faint aroma of his cologne, something costly and woody, similar to the scent that used to waft through the Spencer Publications offices when he went past her desk. Bill destroyed my life, Justin explained, his voice barely above a whisper now. He took everything from me. My reputation. My family. My freedom. And when I eventually had enough and walked away, he made certain that no one would ever trust me again. I was blackballed from every legal firm and security contract in the state. Luna shook her head slowly. I became a ghost because of him. So, you kidnapped me? What about his son's girlfriend? How does that harm Bill? Justin smiled. It was not unkind. It was terrible. It was sad. Because you, Luna, are the only thing he cares about losing. Her blood ran cold. You're lying. Am I? He crouched down so they were at eye level. Tell me something, Luna. When was the last time Bill Spencer allowed someone get close enough to hurt him? Really injured him? Katie could not. Brooke could not. Even Liam, his own son, can only get so far before Bill shuts the door. But you slipped straight through. He stares at you, as if you're the only real thing he's ever had. Luna turned her head away. She despised the fact that he was correct. I despised the fact that Bill had let down his guard with her in ways he had never done with anyone else. Late evenings on the Stella Maris, his hand on her back, the way he said her name as if it were sacred. Justin rose again. I needed something that would break him, he told me. No, not money. Not power. Something that would make him feel as helpless as I did when he stole everything away from me. Then you came along. Excellent timing. He turned to leave. Wait, she yelled out. Justin, please. Whatever Bill did to you, this is not the way. He stopped at the door. There is no other way, he stated without looking back. Not anymore. The door banged shut. Luna sat in the solitude, her thoughts racing. She needed to get out. Had to warn Bill. But more than that, she needed to know how far Justin was willing to go. Bill Spencer was in the living room of his mansion, looking at the same security tape for the 100th time. Luna's automobile is moving away from the Spencer mansion, turning left on the Pacific Coast Highway. Then nothing. Vanished. It had been 18 days. 18 days of dead ends. Private investigators. Police. Liam and Wyatt are ripping the city apart. Ridge and Carter had also poured Forrester resources into the hunt, though Bill felt it was more for Lee and Poppy's benefit than his. He had not slept. Had scarcely eaten. The man who once governed Los Angeles with an iron hand now resembled a ghost haunting his own home. His phone vibrated. Unknown number. He responded promptly. Spencer. The voice on the other end sounded warped and mechanical. Do you want her back? Bill tightened his grasp till his knuckles turned white. Who is this? That is not important. What matters is that you're willing to pay for what you've done. I have money, Bill hissed. Name your price. A low, unfunny laugh. It's not about money, Bill. This is about everything you've taken. Everything you have ruined. You have 72 hours to figure out what this means. Or Luna dies. The call went dead. Bill threw the phone across the room. It smashed on the marble fireplace. He recognized that voice. Even with the distortion. He knew it. 2 days later, a package arrived at Spencer Publications. Plain manila envelope. There's no return address. The inside had a single image.
Luna. Bound.
Gagged. The eyes were wide with horror. Tick-tock, dollar bill is inscribed in clean block characters on the back, with a date underneath. It's time. An address. An abandoned warehouse in San Pedro. Bill did not call the police. He traveled alone. When he arrived, the warehouse was silent. Moonlight poured through the broken windows, lighting dust motes in the air like ash. He walked inside, gun drawn. Luna? His voice echoed. A whimper emanated from the far corner. She was there, still bound to the chair. Head hangs low. He dashed to her, falling to his knees. Luna, baby, look at me. I'm here. I'm here. She slowly lifted her head. Tears had left footprints in the dirt on her cheeks. Bill, she muttered. It's a trap. He froze. The lights turned on. Bright fluorescent white. Justin Barber stood on the catwalk above. The gun was pointing directly at Bill's head. Hello, Bill. Justin said quietly. Do you miss me? Bill stood carefully, protecting Luna with his body. He said, Justin, with a gravelly voice. Whatever it is, we can fix it. Let her go. This is between us, Justin said, laughing. Actually laughed. Between us? He descended the metal stairs, each step sounding like a gunshot. There's no we anymore, Bill. You made sure of that when you threw me aside like garbage. I gave you everything, Bill responded.
A job.
The future. More money than you ever had. You snatched my son from me. Justin yelled, shattering the quiet mask. You made sure Marcus never spoke to me again following the custody battle with Donna. You buried me with scandals. You had me probed, jailed, and disbarred because I dared to question you. Because I wanted out. Bill's expression tightened. Justin, you stole from me. You attempted to seize Spencer Publications behind my back with Maya, and I was attempting to defend you. Justin yelled. From yourself. From the feds, breathing down your neck. But you never saw it. You simply witnessed betrayal. He pointed his gun. And now you'll know what true betrayal feels like. Luna strained against her bonds. Stop, Justin. This is not you. Shut up, he snapped, whirling the rifle at her for a horrifying second before pointing it back at Bill.
You do not get to speak.
You're only the bait. Bill took a step forward. Shoot me, he replied gently. If that's all you need. But let her go. Justin's hand trembled. For the first time, doubt appeared in his eyes. Do you think I won't? I don't think you're a killer, Bill said. You are angry. You are injured. I got it. I was a jerk to you. I used you. I threw you away because you were no longer helpful. I deserve it. But she doesn't. Silence fell between them. Then Justin lowered his rifle. Just 1 inch. You're right, he murmured softly. He dug into his pocket and said, I'm not a killer. I pulled out the silver flash disc. But I am a man who keeps records. He threw it at Bill's feet. Everything's on there, he said. All crimes. Each payout. Every threat you have ever made. Remember when you informed the judge that I was unfit to raise my own son because I lacked moral character? Bill looked at the drive as if it were a live explosion. If I step out that door, Justin explained, this goes to the FBI, the press, everyone. Your empire is burning. Your sons lose everything. And you finally know what it's like to lose everything. He moved closer. Or, he replied, you can terminate this right away. 1 bullet. You take the blame for everything. Suicide. The tragic breakdown following Luna's disappearance pushes you over the edge. She lives. Your boys maintain the company. And I vanish. Forever. Bill gazed at Luna. Her eyes widened, begging. Don't, she whispered. Bill, please don't. But he was already bending down, picking up the gun Justin had thrown away before. He weighed it in his hand. Justin looked at him without blinking. Bill raised his rifle. To his own temple. No, Bill. Luna shouted. But he did not pull the trigger. Instead, he pivoted faster than anyone expected, firing 3 rounds into Justin's chest. Justin lurched back, his eyes wide with disbelief. The rifle slid from his grasp. He looked down at the blood on his shirt, which looked like spilled ink. Then up to Bill. You always have to win, he remarked. And collapsed. Bill dropped the revolver and dashed towards Luna, feverishly loosening her bonds with trembling hands. It's over, he repeatedly said. It's over. She collapsed into his arms, weeping. But when the distant sirens became louder, someone must have heard the shots. Bill focused on Justin's body. The flash disc is still lying on the floor. He took it up. He closed his fist over it. And for the first time in his life, Bill Spencer wasn't sure who the actual monster was. 3 months later, Luna stood on the deck of the Stella Maris, admiring the sunset over the Pacific. Bill approached from behind her, wrapping his arms around her waist. Are you okay? He asked quietly. She nodded. Getting there. Justin's death had been considered self-defense. The flash drive had inexplicably vanished, destroyed, Bill claimed, in the pandemonium. Nobody pushed too hard. The official account was that Justin snapped after years of animosity, kidnapped Luna to exact revenge, and Bill rescued her. Some individuals believed it. Some did not. Lee still peered at Bill, as if she could see blood on his hands. Poppy had stopped speaking with him totally. But Luna stayed, because she's seen the truth that night. I saw the man who would have died for her, and the man who had murdered for her. Bill's chin lay on her shoulder. I'm selling the company, he announced abruptly. She turned into his arms.
What?
Spencer Publications. The house. Everything. I'm finished. Bill, I almost lost you, he murmured, his voice breaking for the first time that night. In that moment, when I thought I might have to put a bullet in my own head to save you, I realized nothing mattered. The power, the money, the name, none of it. He cupped her cheeks. You are all I want. All I need, Luna said, searching his gaze. And the items on that drive? She whispered. What things have you done? He refused to look away. I'll spend the rest of my life making up for them, he told me. Start by being the man you deserve. Not a dollar bill. Just Bill. She kissed him.
Slow. Deep.
Forgiving. Because not all love is clean. Some love is built through fire, blood, and impossible choices. And often the most startling aspect isn't the identification of the creature holding you captive. It's learning that the man who saves you might also be one. Still love him. Luna never anticipated that what began as a routine afternoon journey down the Pacific Coast Highway would turn into the darkest and most perplexing event of her life. The seaside breeze had been relaxing, her thoughts racing between homework, her conflicted feelings for RJ, and the heavy anxiety that lingered over her mother Poppy's history. She had been so preoccupied with her thoughts that she hadn't noticed the car following her, a dark SUV that kept just enough distance to avoid suspicion. When Luna recognized something was wrong, everything had already gone awry. A sharp shock flung her car sideways, the metal shrieking as it spun off the road. Her seatbelt saved her, but before she could process what had happened, her door was torn open. She attempted to resist, cry, but a cloth pushed on her face plunged her consciousness into darkness. When Luna woke up, she was resting on a tiny cot inside a small cabin. Wooden walls, dim illumination, and the slight odor of must and dust. Her brain hammered with a combination of panic and perplexity. She forced herself up, surveying her surroundings to ascertain where she was. The windows had been boarded up, and the lone door was locked. Her breath shook as she cried out, uncertain if she desired an answer. Hours passed, or perhaps only minutes. Dread twisted time. She eventually heard slow, methodical footsteps. The latch clicked, and Luna braced herself, claws pressing into her palms. The door creaked open, showing a towering figure standing in the entryway. For a minute, the dull light obscured his face. Luna caught her breath as he stepped nearer. She recognized that face only through old, hazy images stowed away in drawers that her mother had banned her from opening. Her heart had stopped. Her voice hardly escaped. You? He did not smile. He did not greet her. He merely closed the door behind him and stared at her with a mix of need and sadness, as if seeing her rekindled feelings he had long suppressed. I never wanted it to happen like this, he added softly. But you left me with no choice. Luna moved backward, colliding with the wall. Why are you doing this? What do you want? His expression hardened. I want what I should have gotten years ago. What your mother stole from me. She knew right away. Her pulse pounded. She said, You're my father. Panic spread rapidly in Los Angeles. Luna had gone missing for hours, and no one had heard from her. RJ was panicked, calling her constantly, each unanswered call twisting him deeper into fear. Poppy was distraught, pacing the living room with shaky hands and yelling accusations at herself, blaming her past errors for everything going wrong now. Lee, frigid and harsh as usual, attempted to keep control, but even she couldn't hide the tension on her face. She questioned everyone, yelled at police officers, and probed Poppy for any information, anything that could help her locate her niece. But Poppy remained elusive and haunted. Something about her dread felt layered, more than just a mother's concern over her child. There was guilt there, knowledge, secrets she still refused to reveal. And Bill Spencer noticed it. He'd been trying for weeks to comprehend the lady he'd grown to care for, to trust that she was being honest with him and Luna. But Poppy's silence now revealed everything he needed to know. She was concealing something significant, something harmful. Bill sought answers. Poppy, if there is someone from your past who could be involved, please let us know.
Now.
Before it's too late, Poppy shook her hands in front of her eyes. I believed he had gone. I assumed he had moved on. He vowed to stay away. Bill's voice sharpened.
Who?
Her breath shuddered. She looked up, tears sticking to her eyelashes. Luna's father. The room became silent. RJ froze. Lee's pupils widened in shock and rage. Even the officers in the room paused long enough to look at each other. Bill felt the air shift. Luna's father, whoever he was, had never been identified, addressed, or acknowledged. The truth now loomed in the room like a storm preparing to blow out. Poppy strained to speak.
He was not a good man.
He was unpredictable, obsessive, and when I became pregnant, his condition worsened. I tried to make things work for Luna's sake, but the longer I stayed, the more deadly he got. I needed to leave. I needed to disappear. I assumed he would let us leave. Bill clenched his fists. You should have told me. I would have protected both of you. Poppy shook her head, helplessly. I doubted he'd ever find her. I didn't think he'd even know she existed. RJ stepped forward, his voice harsh. What is his name? Luna glanced at the man claiming to be her father inside the cabin. Her thoughts raced, attempting to piece together shards of memory, moments from her childhood when Poppy paused at Shadows, abruptly changed their residence, or became worried over nothing. Luna never understood such moments. Not till today. He moved closer, reaching out as if expecting her to embrace him. She recoiled. Stay away from me. His jaw tightened, and frustration washed across his face. I am not here to hurt you, Luna. I am here because I should have been a part of your life. Your mother kept me away. Luna attempted to remain cool, but anxiety permeated every nerve. Kidnapping me isn't going to fix that. He looked away for a while, struggling with something inside, then returned to her. I understand, but I needed you to listen to me, to know the truth. You deserve to know your real family. My real family is back home, Luna responded. They're worried about me. They'll come for me, he said with a faint, disturbing smile. I'm counting on it. The suggestion made Luna's stomach sink. Back in Los Angeles, Bill listened as Poppy finally divulged the name of the guy she previously adored and dreaded. The name hit Bill like a punch in the chest. Someone he knew. Someone he wouldn't have expected. Bill's face became pallid. RJ approached him, terrified. Bill, what is it? Bill swallowed hard, his voice low and doubtful. I know him. The room exploded in inquiries, but Bill did not respond. He grabbed his phone and demanded that every possible resource be searched. His every instinct warned him that time was running out. Poppy looked at him, shame squeezing her. I never wanted you to be involved in this, Bill said, but I am because Luna is family. Because you are family. And because that man your past has made this personal. Lee's voice broke like a whip. If he thinks he can take a member of my family, he's mistaken. But Bill didn't listen. He was already putting together a plan. He knew where the man could have taken Luna. He recognized the rural property. Old, abandoned, and neglected. Bill had been there several years before Luna was born. He didn't want to accept it, but the parts were too perfect. The man was intelligent, strategic, and emotional, but unstable. Dangerous. Bill rose hastily from the table. RJ stood up, saying, I'm going after her. I'm coming with you. No, Bill said sharply. RJ's voice trembled. It's too dangerous. That is Luna. I'm not sitting here doing nothing. Bill paused, but he could see the passion in RJ's eyes. Bill has previously carried the same fire when someone he cared about was in jeopardy.
Fine, Bill said.
But you follow my lead.